I have my second interview for the day with Angus Prince. He's in studio today with us. So he's an entrepreneur, salsa DJ and event producer with more than 20 years of experience under his belt in the South African dance and technology industry with a vision to change the world. That introduction alone is just everything. So Angus, welcome.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today? You great?
I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So tell us a bit more about what you do, because you are a multiple, umbrella of things. So sum that up. Tell us what's that all about.
Well, I do everything that I like.
Yeah.
It's, when you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life. And that's kind of what I live by. So I run a technology business, and I also have a dance studio and a production company that specializes in salsa and Afro-Latin entertainment.
And I'm sure many people are thinking technology, salsa, businessman, it's just a lot. Does it ever clash with each other?
Well, if you make it work, it doesn't. That's why I work for myself.
That's a great point. And also, you have 20 years of experience underneath your belt, as I mentioned earlier. What is it like working in the different environments or different industries in these separate fields? Well,
it's interesting. Dancing itself is also very technical. So it's kind of, it balances out. It's a science before it's an art. So I find also that a lot of the more technical people are better dancers, so they kind of go together. People don't really get that, but it's two sides of a coin for me.
Yeah. And also with your salsa, with your dance company, what has that been like? How long has that, existed?
So Evolution Dance Company has been around since 2004. We've been teaching all over Cape Town and South Africa, and I tried to do a count yesterday, just based on our database, and it's a few thousand people we've taught over the years.
Gosh.
And, I always run into people in the mall or in the street, and then they try and do their salsa moves just to say, remember something from class. So it's been a long time and a lot of people.
Yeah. And speaking of a lot of people, of course you were involved, with television and radio yourself. What has that been like, working with different people on a daily basis?
It's a very interesting thing. The television kind of just happened. Mm-hmm. I got involved in ads and some movie shoots, etc. over the years because of the dancing. And then more recently, we were featured on Expresso because of the Mother City Dance Festival, which I produce here in Cape Town. Beautiful.
And also, did you ever think, that the company on itself, the dancing company, would reach as much, publicity as it has? Or did you just start it off and you were like, it's just an idea because I love it,
It was never, the thought was never about publicity. The thought was never about reach. The thought was about sharing the passion. Mm. And, one of the things, in 2003, I saw a DVD of the LA Salsa Congress. And in 2013, we took 4 kids from Khayelitsha to perform at the LA Salsa Congress.
Beautiful.
So it's a lot of community work that's paid off over time, but it's cost a lot of time and effort as well.
Of course, and resources as well. Especially, you are a big umbrella of things technology-wise. Is that also something that you were always interested in, or did it just, like I said, come off, just something that you liked?
So I started out with this major fascination in nuclear physics.
Okay.
I happened to share a birthday with Albert Einstein, which I found out when I was very young.
Wow.
And science and physics in particular always fascinated me. I then went to university and studied physics, and I ended up in computer science.
Wow.
So the physics kind of was by the wayside at some point.
Yes.
But computers fascinated me more, and that created a career that's enabled me to do the things that I love.
Mm. And also, for all the people out there thinking that you can't do just more than one thing, what is something that you would want to tell them right now?
Well, it's one of my favorite guys to follow is Gary Vee. And he always says, if you work 8 hours a day and you come home and you sit on the couch and you watch Netflix, then you're wasting another 8 hours a day.
Gosh.
So, you sleep a third of your life away. You work another third of your life. What are you doing with that other third? You can change your life in 1 hour a day.
Yes.
We've got access to so many courses and information. You can Google things now. You used to have, I remember having a big encyclopedia at the risk of giving my age away. And we didn't have Google. So now you can just Google something. You can pay 100 Rand for a course and you can become a social media marketer. You can become a chef. You can really learn anything you want online. So people need to know how to learn and have the drive to learn.
Yes.
But there's nothing stopping you from doing anything these days.
And also, the Mother City Salsa Kids. I'm really interested to know more about that. Please explain.
So, we started the Mother City Dance Festival in 2019. And that project we've been working on since 2016. And that was in partnership with a guy in Los Angeles named Albert Torres. He passed away in 2017. So that put the brakes on that. We launched the first one in 2019, and a big part of that project was to get kids dancing and performing. So this year we're doing the second edition of the Mother City Dance Festival at the end of October. And we've been trying, well, in lockdown it was really tough. But for 2 years before that, we were trying to get into some schools and teach kids. And what we found this year was that when things went back to normal, a lot more people were open to that. So we're currently running a program at Cape Town High School with about 30 kids. And that started a few weeks ago. And these kids are just amazing. And that's our sort of pilot project. We've got a couple of other schools talking to us now. And if there's people out there at schools who want a dance program, we're very interested in coming to your schools. And we want to get Cape Town dancing.
Yeah.
Because the future is in the kids.
Of course. And also, can anybody join, or do you have to be, specifically on high school? Or can it be, are you looking at bigger things, university perhaps?
Look, we're starting with high schools because that's kind of the core of the program is firstly dance, but also social etiquette.
Yes.
Because, there's a whole lot of impact in the space of gender-based violence, respect, and sort of how to teach a young man to be a gentleman, how to teach a young lady to be a young lady, and the etiquette of walking up to someone, asking them to dance. They can either accept or refuse, and taking that graciously and dealing with the consequences of it. If she says yes, you dance with her, you take her back to her seat. It's all about creating that environment where kids who are generally just pushed around at school by other kids, sometimes by the teachers, and giving them a space where they're respected and they can put effort into something that really works for them.
Of course. And also, with going international and all the places that you have worked, where are some of the places that you enjoyed working the most, with what you do?
I would have to say Los Angeles is one of my favorites. I've been to the LA Salsa Congress a number of times. I was actually given an award by them for the work we've done in Africa.
Amazing. In
2018. So that would be one of my absolute favorites. Singapore is also quite amazing. We've done a lot of things in Africa as well. In Africa, I must admit, Angola is probably my second home.
Yeah.
Beautiful place, white sand beaches, lovely dancers.
Sounds lovely.
It's something to behold.
Yes, that sounds lovely. One day, hopefully, fingers crossed.
we actually have an invitation for next year already from the Children and Teens Salsa Congress in Puerto Rico.
Wow, congrats,
to bring kids there. Once this program really finds its feet and gets some sponsors on board. So we're quite excited about that.
And that would be lovely as well, But just before I let you go, as we're wrapping up, are there any goals or future plans that you have? As you just mentioned, the one that's happening out there once you get the program up and running. But are there any other things you look forward to?
We've got so many plans, right? We're doing some more social and fun things. Like for next year, we're planning a trip to Cuba with some of our students and some of the local dancers. We've also got a senior ladies team of housewives who are in their 30s and 40s who also perform. And the plan is to take them to the World Salsa Championships next year so they can compete in their division. The kids project is the closest to my heart.
Of course.
And maybe I'll even come out of retirement and do a show or two.
You never know. We look forward to that as well. Just before I let you go, what would you say is the biggest piece of advice that you could give somebody going into the future or for what they want to do in life?
It's a little bit cliche, but, just do it. Make the effort.
Yeah.
If you really want something, write it down, put it somewhere, go and look at it every few days, few weeks, and make it into tangible steps that you can achieve so you get closer to your goal. If you put a pie in the sky dream somewhere and you never write it down, it doesn't become real. It's got to be tangible.
Yeah, that's the best piece of advice I think that I've heard by far. It's at least just a bit, you think it's cliche, but somebody else can take that and love it. Just lastly, where can people catch you on social media if they are interested in joining, and how can they join just to dance, enjoy it?
So they can follow Salsation SA on Instagram. And then our website is www.evolution.africa for the dance studio, and www.mcdf.co.za for the festival website.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have just tuned into Bush Radio 89.5 FM, I had an amazing interview with Angus Prince, and he was telling us a bit more about what he does. He is an umbrella of things, and it was just absolutely amazing to have him. Thank you so much, Angus, for joining us today.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Right. Thank you so